for coming out. Hey, if you can see my screen and see me okay, because you know how my technical difficulties tend to go up when I do live webinars on here. If you can see my screen and hear me okay, just type a 1 in the chat box or yes. Yep, Dirk's screen, yes, 1, 1, 1. Lots of ones on here. Good, thank you, Bob, Steve, Bill. Oh, we got a big crew here. Seth, Tom. Good, Suzette. Alrighty, awesome. We've got those on here. No technical difficulties here. You're awesome. Well, thanks, Chuck. You're awesome too, man. I appreciate that. What a way to start the webinar. Already with the compliments. I like that. It's good. Yes, yes, and ones. Okay, I still see people piling in, so we'll give everybody just a couple more minutes to pile in, just like 2 minutes at the most, and then we'll get started on here. Alrighty, Greg in here says from St. Louis checking in. Thank you for checking in, Greg from St. Louis. Hi, Chris. Thank you for putting this on. Well, you're very welcome. Don't thank me yet, though. Wait until the end of it. Alrighty, Chris says on here, still finding the 2 meals a day fasting amazing. What's so amazing about it? I know that. That's a loaded question, but I'm just wondering what you think. Audio is working. Thank you for letting us know. Oh, from Colombia. Awesome. Kuwait. Wow. Texas. Awesome. People all over the world on here. This is awesome. Thanks, James. Well, all the way from Scotland. Can't wait for Bangkok. All right, Robert, you're coming to Bangkok. Awesome. Hawaii. Isn't this amazing? Greendo Expats is Ted from Colombia. Yeah, I got to get down to Colombia. Vancouver, BC, one of my favorite cities. Stanley Island in the summertime. Love it. On that. Alaska, Manchester, UK, Boulder, Colorado. Wow, so much going on here. It's unbelievable. It'd be kind of cool if they had like a little map of dots of how different people are coming on and stuff and where they're coming from. Netherlands, UK, we've got a few UKs on here. Tampa, Florida. Yeah, look at that. London. Good crowd, good crowd. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here on that. Okay, hang on 1 second, and we'll go. Alrighty, so our guest today, he and I are kind of like, I don't know, what do they call that? Brothers from another mother or something, another father. The reason is because he's someone I can kind of relate to right away, and the reason is because we both run kind of similar businesses, and we have very similar lifestyles. He travels all over the world. I definitely call him a digital nomad, and he's a growing breed of people that are out there, and they're growing in spades everywhere. You see it popping up with the co-working spaces that you can find literally in like any city in the world now, from Colombia to Bangkok to Bali, China, Hong Kong, everywhere around the world. They have these co-working spaces, and in them you'll find people that are just hanging out for a couple of months, hanging out for 2 months, 3 months, and they're just working off of their laptop. And that's what Dirk does. And he runs a very successful, I'd call it a virtual online agency. And he's really got it down to the point to where it's a real lifestyle type of business. Now, you may not necessarily aspire to travel around the world like myself and Dirk do, but you may aspire to have more freedom in your life and maybe just stay in one location. That's fine too. This kind of business model will work perfect for you. He runs an offline agency, kind of like I do, but differently. And he's highly successful at it. So he has a lot to share with you. So I would encourage you at this point to get rid of all distractions and pay careful attention to everything that is going to be teaching with you on this call, and then stay until the end, because he's promised to stick around and answer all of your questions. And if you've been on these webinars before, you know that's where the excitement really begins on here. So with that, Dirk, are you there?
I'm here, Chris.
Hey, take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much for that amazing introduction. Hey everybody, thank you for taking your time and for being here. So I'm going to get started with what I call the best online business model of 2017, and I'm going to show you how to go from zero to $100,000 to six figures per year or more in 90 days or less. Okay, and when you hear something like this, I know in our industry with this make money online teaching guru kind of stuff, you hear a claim like that and people think, hey, it's a scam, it's not possible. Relax, okay, it's 100% the real deal. I've got a ton of value to share for you in this presentation. It's all free, so just sit back and be comfortable, okay? My promise to you in this webinar, what I want to show you is how to set up your own profitable, location-independent online marketing agency in just 90 days or less, absolutely from scratch. And I'm going to show you how to do this without being technical, so you don't have to be super good with computers, with programming, any of that sort, and without knowing how to do digital marketing. You don't need to know how to rank websites or how to do any coding, anything of that sort. I'm also going to reveal to you my exact strategy of how I land and close 5- and 6-figure per year clients. So that's clients who are paying me, $100,000 or more per year just from a single client. And this is with a very easy to copy strategy. So I'm going to show you that also. So please turn off all distractions if you haven't done so already. Turn off Skype, mute your phones, etc. Lock yourself in front of your computer, because with what I'm going to show you, this is just going to be really, really awesome. And I want to start off by showing you how just one of our agencies, so together with my business partner, this is one of our agencies, it made $1,476,000 in the last 2 years while working part-time and traveling the world. And those last 2 points are the most important because, we have so much freedom following this model. Like, I can literally live in any country in the world that I want to live in with internet access. I can choose my own schedule. I'll show you all of that stuff a bit later in the webinar and still make this kind of money. And this is in 2015. This is just one of our PayPal accounts. You can see there that was over $1 million. And in 2016 over here, that's 458,000. We actually in 2016 we moved away from PayPal as our main source, because you can see here when we did over $1 million, that was $37,000 in PayPal fees, which is just ridiculous. So we found some better solutions for that. So I just want to give you a bit of an ethical bribe if you stick around. Besides the fact that I'm personally going to answer all of your questions at the end of the webinar, I'm also going to share a link to a PDF summary of this exact webinar. So this presentation is for you if you want to learn how to make money in an enormous and growing industry. This is literally one of the biggest industries in the world, and it's only projected to keep growing, okay? It's for you if you want to work in an industry that you're passionate about. So you're not forced to work according to some system or some model in an industry that you hate just for the money, okay? You can make this model work in an industry that you care about and that you're passionate about, which is very important for me personally, because I find if you're not passionate about something, you hate it. It doesn't matter if the money is good. It's not a way to live, okay? If you want unlimited earnings potential, this is a fantastic model. So unlike a job, a 9 to 5 where you might get a 3 to 5% raise per year, which is kind of the industry average of a raise, with this, you can make as much money as you want. If you want to make a few $1,000s per month and just have a lifestyle business and spend time doing what you love, that's fine. If you want to go ahead and, make $50,000, $100,000 or more per month, you can also do that. And that's the beauty of what this business model allows, okay? You're able to be your own boss, so you decide when you want to work. If you want to wake up at 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. You can choose when you want to work. And you can have the financial freedom that comes with being an online successful entrepreneur. Now, before I continue, I just want to warn you, okay, if you're looking for a get-rich-quick system, this is not for you. It's not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be some push-button software where you're going to be making $10,000 a month by tomorrow. Okay, there is work involved. If you're a lazy and negative kind of person and you think nothing works, you cannot make money online, it's a scam, it's not for you. You have to be open-minded, okay? If you're a kind of person that becomes irresponsible, if you'd have a lot more time and money, this is not for you. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but there are people, when they have a lot of money and free time, they start doing stupid and irresponsible things, and that's just not the kind of thing we want to promote. And lastly, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to open your mind and and put in the time and the effort to be able to improve yourself and follow these systems, it's not going to help you in any way. Okay, so who am I? So Chris already gave you a bit of an introduction, and I really appreciate that introduction, by the way. It was very nice. So my name is Dirk. I go by the name Diggy online. That's kind of my online nickname. But basically, just some small info about me. You don't need to know everything about me because it's not important. What's important is what I'm going to teach you. Okay, so basically, I'm 30 years old. I have no college or university degree. I just finished high school when I was 17 years old. No formal education after that at all. As Chris mentioned, I travel a lot. So I was born in Amsterdam. I grew up in South Africa. I've lived in probably 15 different countries in the last maybe 5 or 6 years. And I just really enjoy that. Random little fact, I love French bulldogs. They're my favorite kind of animal. And most importantly, I've been able to build a 7-figure SEO agency in 18 months from getting started and from learning the principle. And I've built other successful online businesses in different industries also. And just to prove to you, about the traveling stuff, so here's just some pictures. I really don't like to show this stuff off. I kind of like to keep it private, but I know it's important and inspiring to other people. So like in the middle there, that's me and my business partner. We just rented some cars. Those are not our cars, but in Singapore you can rent them, and they cost about $1,500 an hour each to rent. So not cheap. And just some travels in Amsterdam, Hong Kong, Stonehenge in the UK, Thailand, business class flights, hotels, and that's just, I'm just showing you this for motivation. It's all what's possible. Okay, you don't have to want to do the same thing as Chris said. You don't have to want to travel all the time. Maybe you want to stay at home and just have a good time with your family and stay in one place, and that's also cool. That's just the possibility, what's available with this business model. And of course, I have to say it wasn't always like this. Okay, literally about 5 years ago, my situation was completely different. I had no money. Okay, I was living off my friends and family, and I actually ended up living in my uncle's basement for about a year. And that sounds very cliche, but he literally had a basement, and I was able to live in there. And so for about a year, I just tried all sorts of online making money stuff, affiliate marketing and blogging and stuff. And I had some success here and there, but nothing really. And after about a year, so my uncle asked me to move out because I can't just freeload off them forever. And at that point, I was really, really struggling. So I didn't have any money. I couldn't even pay for an apartment. So I had to ask my mom for a loan of a couple $1,000s just to be able to pay for the next few months. And it was just terrible, that having to ask my mom for money at 24 years old is terrible, and you shouldn't have to do that. So kind of I was stuck in a little studio apartment, something like this. Isn't the exact thing, but it looked pretty similar. It was super tiny. It didn't have a proper bathroom. It had crappy furniture, and that's kind of how I was living literally just 5 years ago. So if you're wondering what turned it all around for me, how I went from this, this bad studio to living like this and being able to travel, as you can guess, I discovered digital marketing for clients. And that is what I'm going to teach you inside this webinar, okay? What it involves is helping business and website owners increase their traffic and increase their conversions, okay? So while I was struggling and while I was just trying to figure all this stuff, one day I stumbled on a case study of someone making a lot of money providing SEO services to businesses. I don't remember who it was at the time, but I do remember he was making thousands of dollars a month. And this led me into a journey of discovering about digital marketing. And at the time, my best friend, he was also good at internet marketing, and he has a blog. And at the time, he was into this stuff. So to cut a long story short, I got in touch with him and I explained how profitable digital marketing can be. And he had someone who was interested in taking our services. So we both put up some money, which was literally the last money I had at the time, to be able to get results. And that was the start of our first digital marketing agency. And, after that, it was just amazing. From that moment on, when we started doing this digital marketing, I was able to pay my debt in full 3 months later to my mom. That's a few $1,000s, literally within 3 months of starting this digital marketing stuff, okay? And after that, what we were able to do, we were able to grow our business month after month, turning it into a 7-figure-a-year business in less than 2 years. And the reason why I'm telling you all these personal things is because I want to show you that if we can do it, you most certainly can achieve the same, especially with what you're about to learn. Because I had to figure all this stuff out by trial and error. I had no one showing me this exact roadmap. And that's why I want to share it with you, so it can make your life a bit easier. So why would you start a digital marketing agency? Like I said a bit earlier on, digital marketing is one of the fastest growing industries, okay? So this is a screenshot, and this only goes up to 2014, so that was 3 years ago. But that 3 years ago, it said digital ad spend in the USA, so only in America, it hits $49.5 billion high in 2014, okay? Then we look at SEO, which is just one of the aspects of digital marketing, ranking websites in Google. It's projected to be an $80 billion a year industry by 2020, okay? So literally, digital marketing, SEO, all kinds of aspects, it's over $200 billion per year worldwide. And as you can see by this graph, it's only projected to keep growing, okay? It's one of the biggest and fastest growing industries in the world, and it's there for the taking, okay? And that's why this business model is so good. So I want to introduce to you Jesse. Jesse is one of our students that we taught this exact model to. He's from Australia. He's 23 years old, and he's able to make 6 figures a year annually while following this model, okay? And just to show you here, real quick, within 24 hours of applying this training, Jesse's a smart kid, he was able to close a $5,000 per month client from just a single client, okay? BPC is another one of our students, and he is from the USA. He's not that young, not like Jesse, 23 years old. He's I think he's mid-40s or so, and he's able to run his own marketing agency. He has four kids and a family, you know, and he's able to work from home. He makes 6 figures. He's actually making 7 figures a year now. He's doing very well. And just to show you here also, we did a little challenge where in 90 days he was able to make $43,000 just from this business model. And here's another person that we taught this exact model to. Vil's from Finland, okay, and I'm showing you this because he is from Finland. He's not from the States. His native language is not English, you know. He has all these obstacles, but he was able to start his own marketing agency after applying this training, and he was able to make 16,000 euros, so about $17,000 this very month, actually, okay. And just to prove, he sent this to me actually not too long ago, about a week ago, just to prove to you, you know, he made 16,000 euros. So this is very profitable, and it can work for you no matter where you're from. So Vil's from Finland, BPC is from the USA. So from anywhere in the world, no matter your nationality, your age, the language you speak, you can make this work, okay? And that's why it's such a nice business model. So digital marketing, just to give you Wikipedia's definition, it is an umbrella term for the targeted, measurable, and interactive marketing of products and services using digital technologies to reach and convert leads into customers. And that's a whole mouthful, okay? Basically, in simple English, digital marketing is just any sort of marketing or advertising using digital mediums, and mainly the internet, so through phones, computers, televisions, okay? And digital marketing, the main aspects or the main services within it is firstly SEO, so that stands for search engine optimization, ranking websites higher in Google. The higher you rank in Google, the more traffic it's going to send you, and business owners want leads, so they're going to pay for that. Social media is huge. It's just growing so fast over the last few years. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, you name it, you know. There are people that will pay you to manage their social media. Paid advertising, so that's running ads on social sites like on Google AdWords, on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter. You can run paid advertising and drive leads to anywhere you want, so businesses will pay you for that. Email marketing is also a big one. So companies and businesses often collect customer email lists, but they don't do anything with it, all right? So they have these databases of all these customers that they don't do anything with. So if you provide a service where you create follow-up emails and marketing campaigns and content emails, they will pay you for it. And content marketing is another service where it's possible to make a lot of money. So all websites generally tend to have blogs. Businesses tend to have blogs. So you can go and create content for those blogs, you know, link bait style articles, viral articles, etc. And businesses will pay you money for that. And we'll get to that a bit later. Now, the reason why digital marketing is such a growing industry is quite simply because traditional media is dying, okay? There has been a huge shift in the last 15 to 20 years from traditional media, such as print, newspapers, televisions, like actual physical classifieds, physical yellow pages, to the internet, okay? Like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the only way to advertise was through these traditional mediums, through newspaper, through television, through radio, etc. But these things are all being replaced, okay? Magazines, people are reading their magazines online. People are listening to the radio online. Look at SoundCloud, look at Spotify. People are watching TV online. Look at Hulu, look at Netflix, okay? Newspapers are being read online. All this stuff is just dying in the traditional old school format, and it's all moving to digital, all to the internet. So logically, that budget that was always being spent in traditional media has to shift to digital marketing, and that's why there's so much growth. And just to show you, here's a screenshot of what it costs to advertise in the New York Times in a single placement. So you can see it can cost up to $36,000 to put a single placement in the New York Times, which is just a crazy amount of money, okay? That's just for a single placement. Now, besides the fact that advertising in the New York Times is very expensive, when you place an ad in a newspaper, it's a shotgun approach, okay? You're not honing in on a specific prospect. You're not targeting only to your target audience. You're advertising to everyone who reads the newspaper. And there's a lot of people who read the newspaper who are not your target audience, you know, maybe children, maybe elderly people, maybe people in a different part of the country that can't even buy your service. So it's just really a waste of money. Now, if you move that to digital marketing, you know, for a fraction of the price, you can reach your exact audience by, you know, ranking in Google for specific keywords or running advertisements for specific keywords and specific kind of people. Now, here's more reasons why you can make money with digital marketing, okay? Business owners and professionals will gladly pay because they are increasingly becoming aware of how powerful and how important it is, okay? I know a lot of people kind of in the previous generations, like maybe my parents' generation, before the internet, they were all kind of, you know, stuck to the traditional kind of ways. But that's kind of changing with the internet, and everyone's realizing, you know, I need to be online. People need to be able to find me. So they're becoming aware of it. And on top of that, you know, they're also realizing that if they're not online and they're not paying for advertising, or they're not starting to pay, they're going to lose out to their competition, because their competition is spending money with SEO agencies or with marketing agencies to be able to get more traffic. So if they don't do it, you know, it's kind of this scarcity thing. So they feel they have to do it just to be able to compete, okay? Another thing is that business owners have no interest in doing their own marketing. They focus on running their business, and they just don't have the time or the interest to focus on ranking websites or split testing headlines. I mean, look at a surgeon, okay? A surgeon is not going to be sitting there in front of his computer building his own website. He's going to be in the operating theater working on his patients, you know, or a plumber is going to be on site fixing a tap or installing a new kitchen sink or whatever, you know. So business owners, they want to run their business and they don't have time for it, but they do understand the importance of it. So if you can do it for them as a service, you become very important to their business. Now, another thing that's super important is that the absolute cost. So it doesn't matter how much you charge a business owner, okay, as long as they're getting an ROI on what they're paying you. So even if they have to pay you $10,000 per month or $50,000 or $100,000 per month, as long as they're getting a return or breaking even on that, they're going to keep paying you. So, you know, whatever your profit margins on that, say, for example, you charge them $100,000 per month and you're making $20,000 per month on that as profit, or $30,000 or $40,000, you know, as long as they're getting that $100,000 or more per month back from your services, you keep making that profit. It's just a huge amount of potential money that you can make from each and every client. And lastly, business owners, they don't care about your technical expertise, okay? They don't care if you sit there and code the website yourself or whether you outsource it, as long as you get results. And that's why I said at the beginning of this presentation, it doesn't matter if you're technical or not. You don't need to know anything about digital marketing. You don't need to know how to build a website or write a single line of code, because as long as you provide the service and you get the results for the client, you can simply outsource the technical part and, you know, charge a markup on what you pay the outsourcer, and that's your profit. And that's how you can build a successful agency without having to know any of the technical stuff. So now we're going to get to the good stuff, okay? I've got 3 awesome secrets to share with you, and this is the first one, okay? So the first secret that we learned after a couple years of doing this is you have to focus on dominating one industry, okay? It's possible to make a lot of money just offering your service to anyone and everyone. But by doing this, you lower your value. I personally did this in the beginning. I took on every single client from any single industry for any single price just to get some money in the beginning. And it's just not good. Not for you as the marketing agency owner, and not for the clients, okay? There's nothing special about working with someone that everyone has access to, people pay for exclusivity, okay? If you really want to be successful with digital marketing, you have to specialize, okay? And by this, what I mean is you should become the go-to marketing agency for a specific industry. You should become the marketing agency for dentists or for lawyers or for plumbers or for landscapers or for plastic surgeons. It's just you have to choose a single industry. So let me ask you a question real quick in the chat. Would you, if you were a plastic surgeon, rather go to a marketing agency who serves anyone, so who takes on any client from any industry, or would you go to a marketing agency who might be a bit more expensive, who only caters to plastic surgeons and who knows your field inside or out? Yeah, I can see. That's obviously they're only going to go to a marketing agency who serves plastic surgeons. So I want to show you some real-world examples, okay? And these are companies that are listed in the Inc. 500, the Inc. 5000, which is a list of America's fastest growing year-over-year industries, okay? And this will just blow you away. This is the exact model that these companies are using to go literally from zero to millions and tens of millions of dollars per year, okay? So Showroom Logic. Now, Showroom Logic was founded in 2009. Their first year revenue was $157,000. Okay, that's not a lot of money for a business or for a marketing agency. But just 4 years later, in 2014, they made $28.9 million. Okay, and what they do is they focus on digital marketing for the automotive industry, particularly car dealerships. So as you can see from the screenshot, they offer various services like paid search management, retargeting, displayed advertising. And they've also managed to create solutions for specific problems unique to this industry. So for example, being able to display lease and loan payments in each vehicle ad. They've also developed software and technology to be able to get results that no general marketing agency can replicate very easily, which makes them the go-to solution for every car dealership that needs digital marketing services. And the results speak for themselves, $28.9 million in 2014. Here's another example. They're called Local Search for Dentists. That's literally their name. So as you can guess by their name, they focus on digital marketing for dentists, okay? And they were founded in 2009. I wasn't able to find their original 2010 revenue, but in 2014, they did $3.4 million in revenue purely by focusing on dentists, okay? And that's just crazy. So after finding this example when I was making this presentation, I did some research, okay? And here it turns out that there are 210,000 active dentists in the USA, okay? And the average dentist marketing budget is $20,000 per year. So if you're able to get 150 clients, 150 dentists as your client paying you $20,000 per year, you make $3 million per year, you know? And 150 clients is not even 1% of the active dentists in the USA. So this just shows you how powerful it is to specialize in a single industry. I want to show you another example. They're called ChiroPlanet. And again, as you can guess by their name, they focus on digital marketing for chiropractic. So they were founded in 1997, so they've been around for a while. And I wasn't able to find original revenues or even for most recently, but I can accurately say they are making millions of dollars. And the reason for this is, firstly, they put on their website that they are managing over 4,000 chiropractic sites. Okay, so even if each client only pays them $100 per month, which would be really, really cheap, it means they have an annual revenue of $4.8 million. And just to back that up a bit further, if you go to Google and you type in designbychiroplanet.com, which they put in the footer of their client sites, you can see 23,500 results. So it's very likely they have thousands of clients and they're making millions of dollars annually by following this business model. A final example I want to share with you, also from the Inc. 5000, they're called Net Profit Explosion. And they focus on digital marketing only for fitness center owners, so people who own gyms and fitness centers. Okay, they were founded in 2006, and their first year revenue was only $60,000, and that is really, really not a lot of money. I mean, that could literally be one client paying them $5,000 per month, and that's it. Okay? It's nothing impressive at all. But 8 years later, 2014, they're doing $7.3 million in revenue just by focusing on fitness center owners. Okay. This shows you how powerful it is to specialize on a specific industry. Now, you may be wondering, okay, that's great, Dirk. I'm just a regular guy or girl with no technical experience, a small budget. I have a full-time day job. How can I ever compete? And I'm going to show you how to do that in this presentation. But the most important thing that you need to remember and that you need to put into your mind right now is that you start small, okay, NPE, net profit explosion, their first year of revenue was only $60,000. And Showroom Logic, that is now doing $28.9 million a year and more, was only $157,000 in their first year. Okay, so you don't need to be making millions of dollars in your first year, and you most likely you won't. But you start out small, and it has the potential to grow to millions or even tens of millions of dollars. Okay, and you start with one client. That's the main thing. Okay, don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about building a 6 or a 7-figure agency. Just you focus on getting your first client. When you have your first client, you get your next one, and then you get your next one, and then you can use that money, that revenue, to build your agency, to expand, and to grow if you want to. Now, what I want to share with you is the most important thing for your agency, which is getting leads, okay? Because the technical part you can outsource. There's a gazillion outsourcers who will do the work for you. But getting the leads is the important thing, because that is what gets the money in your bank. So I'm going to share with you a formula, and I'm not going to share a specific traffic source. So it's not about, you know, there's some secret source like Facebook or like Google or whatever. Okay, you can get leads from every single platform. It doesn't matter if you apply this formula. Okay, and the formula is you get traffic, so whatever that source may be. Okay, and then you give them value, something of value, and then you give them a chance for you to solve their problem by allowing them to contact you or have some sort of done-for-you service. So it doesn't matter, you know, like I said, it can be Facebook, it can be LinkedIn, it can be Google AdWords, it can be Yellow Pages. The traffic source doesn't matter, because each one of those traffic sources literally have millions of people on them that you can reach, and there's potential clients on each one of those. I guarantee them. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to offer them something of value. So, for example, you can offer them a free report. You can go and do some research, create a PDF report about their industry. So, for example, if you're catering to dentists, you know, maybe you'll go and do research on the dental industry, like the average spend for customers, how dentists can use 3 tricks to improve their dental practice and get more leads in the door, etc. Okay, you create that as a bribe and you offer that to them. You can, for example, offer a free consultation strategy. So if you get in front of a lead and you offer them to get on a call, a Skype call, maybe for 30 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, and walk them through how they can improve their business, you know, that's valuable. You can offer them free leads. So maybe you're good at, for example, paid traffic or social media or even SEO. You have a site that's generating leads. No business owner in the world is going to say no to free leads. Okay, so if you speak to someone and you say, hey, can I send you some free customers? They're going to say yes. And if those customers make the money, you know, you're in their good books, you're in the door already, and you're very likely going to be able to turn that into, you know, an ongoing commitment. Another thing, what I personally really like, is webinars. So exactly like this presentation you're on right now, you create an hour-long webinar, for example, or an hour and a half, whatever. You show someone in their specific industry how they can go ahead and generate more leads from online business. So whether that's completing their social profiles or how to rank higher or how to improve their website, whatever, you give them the value, you show them how they can do it. But at the end, after giving this value, the more value you give, the more interested they're going to be. You give them an option where maybe you can do it for them. Okay, so you've shown them all these steps, but like I said earlier, business owners, they're working on their business. They don't have time to go and do it all themselves. So you can show them. You have no risk of them going to do it and not paying you. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 people will do that, but most of these people don't have time to go and implement the strategies themselves. But if you offer them a service where you go and implement the strategies for them, most of the time they will take you up on that. Or, you know, you can just get their email or some way to follow up with them, and then you can close them as a client. Okay, so for example, on Facebook, you can apply this formula very easy. You create a Facebook ad. So here's an example of something we ran for criminal defense lawyers. We just run that in the news feed. We use the Facebook targeting in the ads, and we target people who are members of criminal defense lawyer associations, and then we send them to value. So exactly, we create a webinar. So you can see there's a landing page, how to double your criminal defense leads with a simple strategy. They click on there, they register for the webinar, we give them value, and we offer them some sort of solution, whether it's done for you or consultation or trial, etc. You can do the same thing with Google AdWords. Okay, you can go and create an ad targeting criminal defense lawyers in specific cities. You can send them to the same landing page, you know, a webinar, and again, you can offer them a done for you solution or a consultation or a trial. And this is just something that works on any traffic source. Okay, and while it is effective, I have found it to be a little bit difficult, especially when you're starting out. So what I want to share with you now, and this is a second secret, is I want to share with you my personal lead strategy, and this is super, super easy, okay? Where you don't need any authority, so you don't need to be on any news sites, you don't need to have an audience, you don't need to be like a public figure with a following or anything, okay? You can have literally a super ugly website. I'm going to show you my example in a second. And it's able to generate consistent leads. And these leads, they come into your inbox every single day. They reach out to you, and they're all highly qualified. They're ready to buy, and they're ready to spend $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 per month or more. And it all comes to you from free Google traffic. Okay, so this is the good stuff. If you're excited, write an E in the chat. Okay, if you want to see this. If this sounds something interesting, put an E in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, this is really my favorite strategy, and it makes me a lot of money. Okay, this is really the exact strategy that resulted in me closing a six-figure corporate client. So, like I said, that's $100,000 or more per year. These guys are actually closer to about $240,000 that they're paying me in a year for marketing services, and they came to me through this exact strategy. Okay, so just to show you, these are the kind of emails that land in my inbox every single day. So this is from Gareth. I'm presently canvassing companies like yours to create a linking strategy, a small budget of 2,500 Singapore dollars per month. So that's about 2,000 US dollars. So basically, he's coming to me, he's saying, I have like $2,000 per month. Can you help me? You know, I have money I'm throwing at you. Please just give me a solution. Okay. Here's another one. I would like to request a quotation for your SEO service. My budget is $1,500 to $1,800 for 6 months. Here's another one, and this is massive, okay? This is from Alibaba. So I honestly don't know if this is real, but I checked out the credentials, alibaba-inc.com. They're actually associated with Alibaba. So this is Alibaba. They're worth like tens of billions of dollars. It's a Chinese, marketplace like Amazon or whatever it is. And they reached out to me, and they're saying they're looking for links. Okay, that's huge. Melanie, I'm looking for a marketing service which is created for real estate agents. I'm interested to know the costs. Please call me. Here's my number. That would be great. There's another one. I'm looking for a broad range of SEO services. Can we do a Skype call later today? You know, I'm not doing anything for this. These guys are finding me through Google. They're coming to me, and they're all highly qualified, as you can see. They're giving me their numbers. They're telling me to call them on Skype. They're saying, hey, I have money. You know, this is just the highest quality leads that you can imagine. And unlike where you actually have to go and cold approach or call someone, you know, if you were to call these people in their office and you say, hey, I have digital marketing services, would you like to rank higher on Google? They're going to hang up with you, okay? There's no chance you're going to reach these people. But when they come to you, all you have to do is say, hey, I have the service you need. Let's get started, pretty much. I'm going to show you in a second how to do that. So a prospect who comes to you is so much easier to sell to than a prospect you approach, okay? So as an example, right now, as you're sitting here listening to this webinar, if someone walks into your house and tries to sell you a car, they say, I've got a brand new Mercedes, I'll give you 20% discount, you know, how likely are you going to buy? You're probably not. Firstly, you're probably going to call the police because there's a guy in your car or in your house trying to sell you a car. But, you know, you're not interested. You're not in that market, okay? But let's just say, for example, your car was stolen and the insurance is giving you a blank check. You need a car to get to work. You're desperately looking for it. And, you know, you reach out to someone in a car dealership saying, I have a car, and the guy says, I have a Mercedes at 20% off. Do you want it? You're probably going to buy it on the spot. Okay, so I don't know if that was a good example, but basically what I'm trying to say is that when someone reaches out to you, they're in need of a service or a solution. Okay, all you need to do is help them solve their problem, and they're going to pay you money, big money, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. So whatever it is they're looking for, SEO, paid traffic management, social media, you just give that to them, okay? And you can outsource technical work to an expert as long as you're getting them the results, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get results for clients later. What I want to show you is the exact process that I follow for this, okay? I'm going to show you how to replicate it. It's actually very easy. The concept is simple, okay? So the first step, what you're going to do is you're going to build an agency website. So a very simple website, agency website, sounds fancy. It's just a simple website, okay? You're going to rank it at the top of Google for something like city plus SEO. So if people type in, for example, New York SEO, and they find your website at the top of Google, or Amsterdam SEO, Toronto SEO, etc., you're going to get qualified leads, okay? And you can use variations of this. So city plus SEO agency, city plus SEO service. Literally, the more variations of city plus SEO that you can rank for, the more leads you're going to receive. Now, another variation of what you can do is instead of targeting city plus SEO, you can target profession plus SEO, because people search for their own profession in Google. So lawyers, when they're looking for digital marketing, they're going to type in lawyer digital marketing agency or SEO for lawyers, that kind of thing. So you can target specific people with these kind of phrases and get highly qualified leads that are ready to buy. So you can build your agency around a specific niche. So like we showed you in the first secret, where you specialize in a specific niche, if you can rank for that, you're going to get a ton of highly qualified leads. And then when they land on your website and they see that you only focus on their industry and you know what you're talking about, you're going to be able to convert like crazy. Okay, so again, here you can make the variation. So profession plus SEO, profession plus SEO service. The more of these variations you rank for, the better it is going to be. And ranking at the top of Google for these kind of terms, it's basically going to guarantee you're going to get tons of unlimited leads, okay? Highly qualified, ready to buy, and totally free. So once you're ranking up there, you don't have to pay any money to be able to get those leads. You know, you can get leads for months to come once the initial site is ranking. And we created a case study site, so you can go and check this out. You can screenshot, make a note of it later. It's called serpshake.com, and basically it's built around Singapore SEO services. And the reason why Singapore is just because the first time I went there, it was really awesome. I really enjoyed the city. I saw there's a ton of money there. It's actually, I think they have the most millionaires and billionaires for a single city in the entire world. So there's a ton of money, and I decided it would be a good idea to build a case study for Singapore SEO, okay? And it's ranking on the first page for dozens of SEO-related terms in Singapore. So just to show you, here's a screenshot. So all kinds of keywords: Singapore SEO, SEO Singapore, Singapore SEO service, etc. And these rankings, they're not even that great, okay? They're on the first page. Some of them are in the top 5, but some of them are only like 7th and 8th. And this site has been sending highly qualified leads, like literally ranging from these kind of small businesses like this one, Zachary. I think he had a small restaurant or a small bar or something, and he was just interested in some ranking services and paid traffic. But there's corporations literally worth billions of dollars. So I showed you this Alibaba screenshot. So that was just one. I don't know if it's real or not. But the client that I took on, it's literally a $15 billion company, US dollars, and they're massive. They're all over the world. If I gave you their name, you could find them everywhere. They're like massive, massive, massive. And basically, by them reaching out to me, I had a chance. If I would go into a company office like that, you know, that's worth billions of dollars, there is no way that I'm ever going to get them as a client. You know, there's absolutely no way I can approach them and get them as a client. But by them finding me through Google, through this method, you know, a lot of the process of closing them, converting them into a lead is already gone. They're looking for an SEO service. They're looking for an agency, and I can provide that for them, and then we can close the deal. So let's break this concept down into a 3-step process that you can replicate, okay? The first one is you choose your industry. So you go out, you do your research. So either you want to choose a city to target. So pretty much any major city in the world, if you're going to rank for it, city plus SEO, you're going to be able to get leads, okay? You can do it in your home city if it's big enough, no problem. You can also choose a profession to target. It doesn't matter, like I explained, lawyers, plumbers, dentists, whatever it is. You're going to go and do your market research, and you're going to target them. So a quick note on that, it's very important to choose an industry where the average customer value is at least $1,000 or more. So an example of something that you shouldn't choose to work with is like a hairdresser, okay? Because a hairdresser, the average customer value is maybe $30 or $40. So if you want to charge them, say, $1,000 per month, they're going to have to sell like 30 or 40 different haircuts just to be able to pay for your service. And it's just not something that can work, okay? But if you choose an industry, for example, like a divorce lawyer lead is worth $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or more per lead. All they need to be able to pay you $5,000 or $10,000 per month is just for you to generate a single paying lead for them. And if you generate more leads than that, they're going to make a ton of money, and they're going to be your client for a long time to come because you're making the money and you're getting paid well. Okay, so that's just important. $1,000 minimum customer value of the industry that you target. The second step, once you have your industry, is to build your website. Okay, so very simple. You're going to choose your domain, like I chose serpshake.com. It doesn't matter. It's really irrelevant. You're going to choose a website theme, so you can build a basic WordPress site or whatever, and you build out the site and put a few pages of content on there, maybe 5, 10 pages, that's it. Nothing massive at all, okay? And if you don't know how to build a website, you don't know how to set up a WordPress theme or anything of the sort, you can simply pay someone to do it, you know, like a college kid or someone on Upwork or Odesk or whatever. They will build you a website for like $200 or $300, and that's it. If you can go and check out Surfshark, the agency site, after this presentation anytime you want. It's basically a really ugly WordPress site. It's a couple of pages, and that's it. Okay, there's nothing special about it, and you can do that yourself. Step number 3 is to get those Google rankings, and quite simply, it means you optimize your on-site SEO. So that's your structure of your website. Okay, and this doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just make it about the topic that you want it to be. And if you want any specific guidance about that, there's basically a bunch of free tools. So if you go to Google and you type in something like free website audit tool or SEO audit tool, there's a bunch of free sites. You can plug in your website URL, and it's going to tell you the exact steps of what you need to improve on your website to be able to make it optimal for Google. Okay, very simple, nothing special, no rocket science, nothing. And then you want to be able to rank it. So ranking in Google is about getting backlinks and mentions on social media. And that's something that's also very simple. And in fact, you can outsource this. So even though I know how to do SEO myself, and I could get it ranking for the case study site for Surfshark, I didn't do anything myself, okay? I outsourced all of it. It cost me about $1,500, and it's made me a return of like 100 times that, maybe more. I can't even do the math, but it just pays for itself so easily, okay? So if you're thinking about SEO, real quick, if you want to screenshot this for later, I'll go through it super quick. What I do is I get press releases, okay? So a press release is a press release. It's like an article you can write about your business or have written for you, and it gets sent out to news outlets, and you get like 200 or 300 backlinks for that. Then what you go and do is you go and get some comments on blogs in your industry. So if you're, if you're targeting dentists, you want to go and find like medical blogs or something and leave comments on them. Again, you can pay someone to do this on Upwork, for $20, $30, something like that. Okay. PBN Butler is a service I use to be able to get signals. So Facebook shares, Google shares, Twitter shares, etc., and to be able to help improve those social signals. And then to be able to get ranking, there's 2 strategies I use. So donation links, which are very powerful high authority links. And basically what this means, this is a strategy that has been around for a while. What you want to do here is you want to find nonprofits and charity organizations that have a website that allow you to make a donation to their cause. And by making this donation, what they do is they list you on their sponsors page with a link back to your website. And because they're a charity and a nonprofit, they have a lot of authority and a lot of weight in the rankings in Google. Okay, so getting a link from these kind of charities is very powerful, and it will help you rank very highly. Another technique is called scholarship linking. This has been around for a while. I didn't invent it, but it's just highly effective. So basically what you do is you offer a scholarship to a student. So this is real money. Maybe you offer $500 or maybe $1,000 for a student that they can win that goes towards their education. But why this is so effective is because universities, so .edu domains, universities are formal institutions just like charities, nonprofits. They're incredibly powerful and authoritative in the eyes of Google, okay, simply because they're a formal institution. Now, by offering a scholarship, what you do is you get students to write a blog post on the university blog. Okay, so students often get a blog on their .edu university website. So you can offer the scholarship, and then you can get literally 50, 100, 200 colleges and universities around the country, around the world, to all have students apply for this. You're getting hundreds of backlinks from these powerful websites to your site in exchange for a couple $100 or whatever the scholarship is. And again, you can rank really highly. So those are all a bunch of powerful things. And don't worry too much about it because it can all be outsourced. I'll show you some services in a second that you can use also to outsource the SEO too. Now, when it comes to digital marketing, okay, and you start your agency, which services can you offer? Okay, and we've talked a little bit about this in the beginning, but I just want to run through it again. So website design is very simple, okay? You can offer to build them a new website, and you don't want to sell them a new website, but you want to sell the benefits of a website, for example, that loads faster, or it's better for ranking in Google, it converts more visitors into customers, and maybe it's mobile responsive. It's all about the bottom line for a business, okay? And if you can help them improve that bottom line, they're more likely to invest money into it. You can also offer, for example, to rank them for more keywords in Google, improve their current rankings. It's going to increase their traffic, it's going to increase their leads, and it's going to dramatically increase their sales. So just as an example, we had a client that was, in the beginning, he was paying us $1,000 per month to rank him for some supplement and health keywords, okay? And we got into the first position in Google for those keywords, and within a few months, actually, after they canceled, they were with us for about a year, but they canceled, and a few months after that, we actually learned from someone else who was kind of friended with them that they were making $100,000 per month in sales from those rankings that we got them. They were paying us $1,000 per month, and they were making $100,000 per month back from it. That's crazy. So they could have paid us $5,000, $10,000 per month, and it would still have been an incredible deal for them. And that's just what the kind of value that you can bring for businesses. Okay, you can make them huge amounts of money. You can also offer paid advertising campaigns. So, for example, if they want instant leads, you can offer to run a campaign on AdWords or Facebook. As soon as you start the campaign, like literally within minutes of starting that campaign, you can be driving them leads. Okay, and that's super powerful. They're willing to pay you for that. And you can also offer to manage their social media for them. So run their Twitter, run their Facebook, update their pages, etc. They're going to be able to pay you for that. And just to give you a bit of a benchmark, how much you can charge for these kind of services. Okay, website design. Small business typically pays anywhere between $3,000 and $20,000 for a single website, okay? And what you can do with that is you can just outsource that website design for 50% of the cost, outsource it for $1,000, $1,500, sell it for $3,000, pure profit, $1,500, super easy, okay? SEO, it starts at about $1,000 per month minimum, and it can go upwards of $20,000 per month. It's really crazy. Like some of our students that we taught this exact model to, they're making more than $20,000, $30,000 per month from a single client. Okay, there's huge money in SEO. Paid advertising campaigns, how that works. So basically, like I said, you run campaigns for them on Google AdWords or Google or Facebook, and what you do is you create a deal with them. They pay you a monthly management fee for running their ads. So $250 per month is minimum. I would charge a minimum of $1,000 per month management, to be honest. And they pay for the ad spend. So they're going to pay you a $1,000 fee every single month, and that's just for you managing them. And if they spend $5,000 per month on ads, they're going to pay you that cost also, okay? So nothing comes out of your pocket, and you get paid your monthly fee. And social media management, again, like I said, you can manage their Twitter profiles, put out content, etc. You can start $500 per month minimum. I would honestly not charge a penny less than $1,000 per month, but that's just me. So there's just a huge amount of money that you can make with digital marketing. Okay, and now we come to the good stuff, which is really important for most people, is you can outsource the technical work, okay? You don't need to know how to do this yourself. There are literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who were able to do this kind of work, who were able to rank websites, build websites, all this kind of stuff, and you can simply outsource it to them and charge a markup on the outsourcing cost, oversee the process, just make sure the end result is what makes the client happy, and you make your money, and that's how you do it. And you focus your time and your energy on just getting more leads into the agency, being able to get more clients, get more leads, so you can sell more and make more money. And what I want to show you here is you can simply outsource it, okay? So some examples of websites where you can outsource to. Upwork is a huge website. I'm going to show you in a bit more detail each of these. PosiRank for SEO, Freelancer, and 99 Designs for any sort of design work, okay? So Upwork, you can go to upwork.com. It's a huge freelancing website, and you can literally find any kind of outsourcer you want there. Web developers, designers, writers, assistants, whatever you want. So you can go there, you create an account, and you post a job, and you say exactly what you're looking for, and then you can get all sorts of people applying for that job, and you can choose who you want to work with. PosiRank, for example, they just do all totally managed SEO that you can outsource. So whether it's for a single client, whether you run your whole agency with PosiRank, and I actually know people who do that. They outsource their entire agency to this website. They charge a markup and they make a lot of money. Very easy. Freelancer.com, that's another website. It's similar to Upwork. Basically, you can just post a job and you get a whole bunch of people applying for that job, and you can choose who you want to work with. 99designs.com, they do all sorts of design work. So, you know, whether you want a website, whether you want a logo, business cards, ebooks, whatever you want, again, you can hold a contest. You can say how much you want to pay. You get designers applying, giving their designs, and you choose the winning design and you can use it. So, you know, that's all what's possible. You can just outsource it super easy. And the most important thing here is just to be able to take massive action, okay? As soon as you just start doing things and taking actions, like with anything in life, you're going to be able to see results. And just keep in mind always, the more value that you give up front, the more that you share with people, the more that you help people, the more you're going to be able to make in return. And just a quote by one of my favorite celebrities, okay, Dwayne Johnson. He says, success isn't overnight, okay? Every day you get a little bit better than the day before, and it adds up. Okay? You don't need to start and make $1 million by next week, okay? You just start with your first client little by little, keep growing, keep learning, and you can build an online business that will give you all the freedom that you want. So, real quick, in the chat right now, are you enjoying the webinar right now? Give me a yes or a no. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, awesome. Do you feel like you can make money with what you just learned? Give me a money in the chat. Say money. Yeah, I see a lot of money. Okay, so how will you feel when you get handed your first $1,000 check? I'd like you to imagine, just for a second, okay? Imagine someone hands you a $1,000 check for your digital marketing services, okay? Picture yourself having that check in your hands, showing it off to your friends, your family, taking it to the bank, depositing it in your account. And then imagine how you'd feel when you get checks like this coming in every month, every week, and possibly for bigger amounts, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, you know, you can get that. And so far, what we've covered in this webinar, okay, secret number one. So this is the exact formula that those Inc. 500, Inc. 5000 companies are using, and how they went from zero to literally millions, tens of millions of dollars in revenue annually, okay, specializing in a specific industry. Secret number two, I showed you my favorite strategy. I personally use this. It's super effective, okay? You build a few page website for a city plus SEO type keywords or profession plus SEO type keywords, and it's going to bring you tons of targeted leads that you can convert. And then the third part is you don't need to do any of the technical aspects of the marketing yourself. You just need to find someone with a proven track record and you outsource it. It's as simple as that. So, who wants to take things to the next level? In the chat box, put I'm ready, okay? If you want to learn how to take this to the next level. Yeah, I've seen I'm ready. Awesome. Okay, I want to ask you a question, okay? What happens tomorrow? You've probably been on these kinds of webinars in the past, right? You get excited, you get fired up, and what happens the next day? Well, probably nothing for most of you, and it's a sad truth, but I've just showed you the exact system I'm using to start a real and sustainable online business that's location independent in an industry that you love, okay? And you're going to go back tomorrow and you're not going to do anything because of old habits. Old habits are hard to break, okay? You're going to go back probably to your office, to your job the next day, and you're going to have the exact same habits. Now, the only way that you're going to be successful is if we figure out a way to break that habit right now on this call, okay? And the way you're going to break that habit is by investing in our digital home study course that I'm about to introduce to you in a few moments. I can help you, I can give you the tools that you need to break that old habit so you can become successful. If you don't do that, you're going to slide back into your old exact habits. Everything that we did here for the last hour will be completely useless if you go back to your old habits, okay? So the only way to break that is to invest right now. And then you're going to have the tools to break the habit, and we're going to be able to take this to the next level. And you're going to be able to do all of this while you work from the comfort of your own home, okay? You can work on your own terms, your own schedule. If you have a family, you can spend more time with them. It doesn't matter. You can do this on your own terms. And just to break it down a little bit, at the start of this presentation, I made a claim that I can help you build your own six-figure marketing agency in 90 days or less, okay? And that's a bold claim because 6 figures, $100,000 per year is a lot of money, okay? It sounds pretty overwhelming. So let's break it down, okay? It takes 5 clients at $2,000 per month each to build a $120,000 a year agency. 5 clients at $2,000 per month, it means you only need to gain 2 new clients a month for the next 3 months, okay? And 2 clients a month, that means you only need to make 1 client every 2 weeks for the next 3 months, and you're making $120,000 per year with your agency. And with what you've learned in this webinar, you're already equipped with that strategy, okay? I've shown you the information. You can take action. You can go and build your own 6-figure agency if you wanted to without any of my help. But I want to offer you my guidance, my support, and my experience to help you succeed faster, okay? I realize you might be a little bit overwhelmed. You saw the big picture, but there's fine details missing how to get from A to Z. And I've been in your shoes, maybe even worse. I know the amount of trial and error that goes into figuring this stuff out on your own, okay? Last year, my business partner and I made over $1 million selling marketing services to clients, and I want to offer you my personal guidance. So I want to introduce to you Marketing Inc. For the last 3 years, hundreds of people just like you have learned from us how to take advantage of this enormously profitable and ever-growing industry of digital marketing services, okay? Marketing Inc. is one of the best, most exclusive, and most complete training courses to start your own digital marketing agency. And unlike most other products that you find in the make money online space, Marketing Inc. is based on multiple years of me and my business partner running our own successful digital marketing agencies. So we walked the walk before we started talking the talk, okay? And here are the screenshots again: $1 million, over $1 million in 2015, 400K, 450K in 2016 in that PayPal account, okay? Marketing Inc. is a full-fledged package of everything you need to build a successful business quicker than any other business model that we know. So I just want to walk you through what you get when you join Marketing Inc. And the first aspect is the training, okay? So you can log in anytime, day or night, via mobile, tablet, or desktop, okay? And we have tons of training material in here. We've broken it down into video training and text training, bite-sized modules. It's very easy to walk through it, okay? And at the end of every section, you're presented with a little checklist that remembers exactly what you've done, and it kind of guides you on what you need to do also. We've got a very nice navigation model, like I said, very bite-sized model. So lots of different little modules where you can go through and work your way through it at your own speed, okay? It's super easy, super efficient, and you can work at your own pace. The modules, the first module that we go into is strategy potential, okay? And here we're going to show you a case study of one niche agency going from 60,000 to 2.4 million in just 24 months. We're going to show you how to raise your rates and get paid like an expert, okay? So you don't have to worry about charging $200 or $500 a month or even $1,000 a month. We're going to show you how to charge serious rates, okay? Even if you don't consider yourself an expert. We're going to show you how to decide which industry to dominate with your niche agency. And to help you with that, we're going to give you at least 100 handpicked lucrative niche ideas that all have the minimum customer value of $1,000 or more, okay? We're going to show you a case study of one of our businesses ranking for highly profitable terms that you can just copy. One of our students, Daryl, he's presented a case study of making thousands of dollars per month from local SEO. Then in the next module, we're going to show you how to rank and sell SEO. Okay, so everything you need to know about search engine optimization and ranking in Google, we cover. Okay, we're going to show you an in-depth guide to building private link networks. We're going to show you whether you're a beginner or where you already know SEO. We're going to give you everything you need to know about local SEO. And we're going to show you how to price SEO so that you can get your maximum results when you're dealing with clients, with prospects. Okay, we're going to show you personal case studies of how to rank with local SEO, a checklist of the ultimate SEO strategy, and how and where to outsource SEO if you don't want it yourself. So I've given you a little bit of a taste here in this presentation, a few websites where you can outsource to, but that is only a tip of the iceberg. There's much, much more to it that makes it much easier, and we're going to give you that inside the course. Okay. Next module is where to find and how to close clients. So we're going to give you exact strategies to find leads on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Google. So I covered a very general formula in this presentation, and it works, of course, but there's a lot of stuff to figure out. So inside Marketing Inc., we have modules on each one of these traffic sources and how to use them to be able to get leads. We're going to give you an example of a page you can create that will give you instant credibility. Okay, we're going to show you a $21,000 launch case study, the exact ads and the exact process that was used to create that. We're going to show you a social network that only one person we know is using to drive hundreds of leads to his agency. And I'm going to give you a tip. There's a module that I've created how to get people like me to send clients your way. So of course, I don't think I'm anything super special, but you know, we have an agency, and a lot of time we get inquiries and we get leads, even from promoting these courses. So like for example, one of our students, he started his agency, and we had a lead we couldn't cover or we didn't want to work with, just for no reason. We just didn't want to take him on. So we passed him on to our student, and he ended up making $18,000 from that lead just by me referring that lead to the person. And basically in this module, we're going to share how to get influencers who have these leads just to refer leads to you, and you can make a ton of money that way very easily without any extra effort. Okay, we're going to show you actual people to outsource all of the work to. It's just one thing to say, hey, go to Upwork, go to Odesk, you know, and use these people, but there's thousands of people on Upwork, you know, and a lot of them are really bad and they deliver bad results. So we're going to show you people that you can work with, that you can go to for website design, for SEO, for this, for that we've used and tested, and they just get results. Okay, we're going to give you a 60-minute video of me entering a brand new industry for you to copy. I'm going to give you my exact strategy guide and step-by-step blueprint to building your successful agency, and a massive action checklist to ensure your success. The next module is case studies, and this is by far my favorite module. This is where we go and interview 6- and 7-figure agency owners and ask them for tips on how they grew their agency, their processes they're using to get leads, etc., etc. So we've interviewed at least a dozen people inside this section. For example, millionairess Robin Kasner, she breaks down how she built a multi-million-dollar PR agency. BPC, our student, I introduced you to him at the beginning of the presentation. He was able to make $43,000 in 90 days, and he's got a module on how he ranks his clients. Super easy. Josh was able to get a $100,000 BMW in return for providing SEO service for a luxury car rental agency. And I got him to make a module for us on how he did that. It's really cool. Like, so you don't even have to get money for your services. If you work with a company and they have something of value, you know, maybe you're working with yacht charters or helicopters or private jet charters or whatever, maybe they'll throw in like a free flight or a free yacht rental for a week or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can get all these kind of perks with it, and we'll show you how to do that. I'm going to give you a 20-minute video by Azam on how he does $14,000 per month. And Matt, another one of our students, he's making $10,000 per month. He's doing a module, and there's really dozens of these interviews, and they're really, really valuable. You can learn a ton from it. I've created a module called Mindset. Okay, so it's one thing to work hard. Okay, you can know some loophole, you can know some trick, and you can work hard. But if you're relying on a loophole or some trick, and that trick stops working, all your money disappears, and you don't have skills. Okay, so there's certain things where you need to have a mindset that you're able to learn how to apply this and adapt with it when things change, that you're not just reliant on a single strategy. And that's what we teach you. So how to work smart instead of working hard. We're going to show you goal-setting systems, very important to help you achieve success faster. We're going to show you how to create success routines, so a small 25-minute-a-day thing that you do that can massively increase your success, and many ways to automate and streamline. That's important, because you don't want to be working in your business, you want to be working on it. Okay, you want to be able to have your business running while you're traveling, or while you're spending time with your family, or while you take time off. You don't want to have to be in your business all the time. So automation is super important. We show you how to do that, and we show you how to reprogram your mind so that success becomes inevitable. And of course, advanced training. So for all of those of you who already know a bit about digital marketing, got some cool modules in there. So Daryl shows us how to get powerful backlinks with a kind of weird and unconventional method, but they're really effective. We've got a massive case study of our own marketing agency in Singapore. So I already mentioned that in this presentation, serpshake.com. You can go and check that out. But basically what we did is we documented and filmed that entire process from start to finish, and we've got that as a module inside the course. So it literally shows you how from scratch I did everything from researching the domain to getting the rankings, where I outsourced it to, etc. And you can go and copy that in any city, any profession you want. And that basically, that module alone shows you how to build a successful agency. And you can go and copy that. That's no problem. I'm going to show you a 90-day blueprint for changing your life with this model, and how to quadruple sales using a technique we've used on you today, which is webinars. Webinars are super, super powerful. and then show you inside Marketing Inc. how to do that, okay? So the total training value, when you look at these modules, and you give each of those modules a value of $499, which is what they're worth. If I were to package them as an individual course and sell them, I could sell them for $499 each, okay? The value of that comes to $2,495. But information alone is not going to save you, okay? For the last 90 minutes, we've shared a ton of information, but you need this exclusive training. You need Marketing Inc. because that's what's going to help you get to the next level. And it's going to help you build a profitable online marketing agency. Now, what I want to share with you, that was the training. The second step when you join Marketing Inc. is the support you get, which is awesome, okay? This is going to help you get set up, and it's going to help you push through and get that success. So when you join, you get access to our VIP members-only forums. Once again, you can log in anytime, day or night, mobile, tablets, or desktop, okay? You can go in there. We have thousands of posts, okay? You can see there 16,000 posts, 17,000 posts that you can all use, finding the search function inside the forums. You can look up all this information. That's really, really awesome. So myself and my business partner, Glenn, we're in the forums all the time. You can see I have over 2,000 posts. Glenn has over 600. Actually, it's closer to double that at the moment. We're just in the forums all the time. So you get access to myself and Glenn personally. You can ask as many questions as you want inside the forums, and we answer those. So it's like having a personal mentor, all included in the package of Marketing Inc. Okay? And besides the fact that Glenn and myself are in the forums, all of our other members are in there. So a lot of them are very successful, and they share a ton of knowledge. So for example, BPC, we've introduced you to him. He made that $43,000 in 90 days. Okay, what we did is I started a 90-day challenge inside the forums for our members. Whoever can make the most money, and I think I gave $1,000 prize or something to the person who won. So basically, BPC, he won. He made $43,000 in 90 days in new business, and he shared his entire process. He documented everything step by step, and that's just BPC. Okay, a lot of members are sharing things. So just for example, here are some other members that post. So Jabba Wonga, he's from New Zealand, posted over 685 times. Daryl posted 680 times. Samba, Eric, BPC, Yui, Chloe, Jesse, you know, all these members are helping out, and you get access to that inside the forums, okay? It's a place to make new friends, possibly business partnerships. A lot of partnerships have already been formed, and that's just really awesome. So the support value of the forums, which we used to sell access to, okay? Before we used to sell at $47 per month to be part of the forums. We don't do that anymore. But you get access to these forums for life without a monthly fee. But the value of that is $564 per year. Okay? Now, look at it this way. People in life, they can have one of two things. They can either have money or they can have excuses. And that's it, okay? So right now, you have two options. Option one is that you can sign up and you can start a real and sustainable and location-independent business in an industry that you love. Or option number two is you can come up with some excuse why you can't afford it, why you couldn't do it this time, why you don't have enough time, whatever your excuse is today, okay? And that's fine. But the reality is that you can't have both. You can have money or you can have excuses, and you've got to decide which one it is that you want. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have money. So that's why you need to go and invest in Marketing Inc. Now, section number 3, this is done for you, okay? We want to make it super easy for you. We want to make it a no-brainer. So all this trial and error of having to figure stuff out and, you know, how to set up your agency and all that stuff, we want to make it easy for you, okay? So we're going to give you a bunch of stuff, contract templates, email templates, the exact tools we use, and the professionals we use for outsourcing. So when you join today, we're going to give you expert email templates. So when you're reaching out to people, we're going to give you a bunch of copy and paste templates that are proven to convert, that work for both cold and warm leads. So you don't have to figure out what to write. You get our templates, you copy them, you send them to your leads. We're going to give you agency contract templates. So when you have leads, when you're working with clients, you know, and you need to worry about, hey, how do I create a contract or an agreement with them, we've got you covered, okay? We give you the contract templates. They're ready to be used. They're super easy to edit. So you just edit it, fill in the client's details, put in your terms and conditions, and that's it. Done, okay? We're going to give you what we call the Professional Done For You Toolkit. So we're going to give you access to the very best tools that we have personally used for our agency that will help you increase productivity. It will help you increase your efficiency, okay? And we're going to give you access to our very own outsourcers. So the exact outsourcers that we've used. Like I said, there are thousands of outsourcers available on these websites, but a lot of them are crap. You know, they will give you bad services, or they simply won't deliver, they'll be late, etc. And we've gone through hundreds of them, literally, no joke. A lot of them were bad, but some of them were very good, and some of them we've been using for months and for years, and we're going to share those with you. And because we've been using them for so long, you're going to get better pricing with them than you would if you were to approach them. We don't get anything for referring you, but just because we do business with them, we refer you, they're going to give you, as our member, a better price. Okay, and it's just really going to help you simplify your agency. So the total value of these done-for-you things with the email templates, the contract templates, the toolbox they outsources comes to $696. So what is the total value of Marketing Inc? When you count the training modules, the support of the forums at $47 per month, and the done-for-you bonuses and templates, you come to a value of $3,755. Okay, but you're not going to pay $3,755. We have built, without question, the most profitable and successful community for people building their own stable online business. Okay, most people spend their lives chained to a desk, living for the weekend, waiting for Friday, working on someone else's dreams, all with the hope of ever being financially free and getting to work on their own dreams. And that is no way to live. Okay, and there's another option. You could be living it. So if you want to learn business, okay, and I put that in quotation marks, business, because if you go to university and you get an MBA, so a Master of Business Associates, you're going to spend at least $100,000 to $200,000 and lose 2 years of your life. And that's on top of getting a bachelor's degree, which is required to get the MBA. So, you know, you're looking at 5-6 years of your life plus like $200,000 to be able to get an MBA, and then you just have a piece of paper that says you know how to do business, but you're not making money. If you want to learn, or if you want to start a franchise, you want to start a Subway, a 7-Eleven, or McDonald's, you're looking at least $500,000 in investment costs, and more likely closer to $1 million or $1.5 million to start a physical business. Okay, Marketing Inc. is not going to cost $500,000 like an offline franchise, or $200,000, $100,000 like an MBA. It's not even going to cost you $50,000, $20,000, $5,000, or not even the value of it of $3,755. You can go through the same proven process that we have personally used to build 6- and 7-figure agencies and help people quit their 9-to-5 jobs for a once-off payment of $997. Okay, I had two choices when I was putting together this package. Like the first choice, I could make it super cheap. I could make it $97. Literally everyone could afford it, and we could sell to tons of people. Everyone could have access to it, and that was just one option. But the problem with that is that I can't put in the time, the effort, or the resources to really serve you at $97. Okay, so instead of selling 10,000 people a $97 course, what I decided to do is to help you, because I want to give you more personal attention, and I decided to charge more. I decided to charge $997, which justifies me spending more time and more effort. And I'm guessing that for most of you watching, you'd probably rather have a little more effort from me, right? That's why I decided to charge more. So the choices right now, you've got two choices. Choice number one is you can go and invest and you can get started. In the next 90 days or less, you can have the entire system set up with your own agency running and making money. Or choice number two is that you can end this webinar right now. You can go to bed tonight, and tomorrow you wake up and you do the exact same thing that you're doing right now. Okay? You've just got to decide which choice is more exciting. Which one do you want in your life? Do you want to go back to exactly what was happening yesterday? I'm guessing not, because otherwise, why would you watch this webinar? You're trying to start a real and sustainable online business, a location-independent business in an industry that you love. You showed up at this webinar and you need help. So you've got two choices. Either it's get help and let's fix this problem, or go back and keep doing what you're doing already. I don't know about you, but that second option never makes me happier, okay? And that's why I want to help you right now. So to join Marketing Inc. right now, go to www.marketinginc.com/callzoo. And for the price of a daily coffee at Starbucks, you can learn to build a 6- or 7-figure business, okay? Look, there's two kinds of people who show up on these kinds of webinars. The first one is the timid, nervous guy or girl who gets on here and think, it's really cool, it makes a lot of sense, and they want to do it, but they don't take action. And I don't know about you, but I don't like working with people like that. Those people are never successful. The people I like are the people like us, like you and me. We get on this webinar, they hear it, they understand it, they step up, they want to produce, and boom, they come out here, they get results and make things happen. So I'm going to ask you guys, what are you? Are you this guy on the left, or are you this guy on the right? The guy on the left is probably going to get tired and hang up on the webinar right now. Look, I don't want to make you feel guiltier than you already do, but if you're ready to take some massive action in your life and do some cool stuff and change your life for the better, if you want to join us, okay, this is what we're going to do. Come and sign up right now at marketinginc.com/callzoo. Now, look guys, this is the deal. You've been trying to start a real business, okay? You've been trying this online marketing stuff. You want to start a location-independent business in an industry you love. And right now, I want you to say it with me. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to being technical, okay? Having to know how to do SEO, digital marketing, all of that stuff. You don't need it. Say goodbye to it, okay? And say goodbye to having to rely on a single point of failure that so many online business models have. So for example, if you're relying on affiliate marketing and Google rankings, and Google changes its algorithm overnight, all your rankings disappear, your income is gone. I personally know lots of people who have lost six-figure businesses overnight thanks to Google's changes. Or Facebook, if you're running advertising on Facebook and your account gets banned and it's gone, goodbye income. But those things don't apply to this business, because when you buy Marketing Inc., you can say goodbye to all of those things which have been stopping you, okay? And if you act right now, what I want to do is I want to give you a huge amount of bonuses, a huge amount of value, okay? And that's only for action takers. So let me share with you, if you act right now and you join Marketing Inc. on this webinar, I'm going to give you the following. So the first thing is an agency website theme, okay? So like I was saying, if you want to generate your leads from the strategy secret number 2 on the webinar, where you build a website and you rank it for city plus SEO terms or profession plus SEO terms, and you need a professional looking website, this is it, okay? We give you the theme. It's super professional. It can be extensively customized, and we show you exactly how to do that. And the value of that is over $1,000. And just to show you, I'm not making up these prices. We literally had to pay, here's a screenshot of PayPal, $1,080 to invite out to be able to give you this theme, okay? Then the second bonus that I want to give you, and this is awesome, okay? It's a mass page creator plugin. This is a custom SEO software tool that we've created. And basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to mimic the authority of websites like Amazon, like Yellow Pages, these sites that rank in Google for almost everything simply because of their authority. So right now in Google, and this has been going on for many months already, is that it sees websites with thousands of pages as an authority. Because think about it, if you were to manually build a website, okay, and you had to create 10,000 pages on that website, it would take you years and years and years to do. And if you had the dedication to do that over so many years, Google would see, hey, this site is worth ranking highly because they've put in so much time and effort over all these years. But thanks to this plugin, you're able to create thousands, tens of thousands of pages literally with a few clicks of the mouse. And this sends a signal to Google when it sees you have 10,000 pages on your website or more, that you're able to rank on the first page of Google for tons of terms without building any backlinks, without doing any SEO, which is just awesome for any sort of lead generation. You can use it, you can put your affiliate links on it, you can use it as proof to show your clients, I'm ranking for all these keywords. Super easy, super effective. And we paid just over $2,500 to our developer. If you had to do this yourself with a new developer you don't have a relationship with, you'll probably pay $4,000 or $5,000 easily to get this developed. We're giving it to you for free, unlimited access when you join today. And the third bonus is we're going to give you a YouTube strategy that is super effective, that allows you to rank videos on the first page of Google, sometimes in less than an hour, literally. Okay, you can go and create the video, upload it with a special software, and we show you how to get the software for free. The value of the software, by the way, is $500 if you had to buy it, but we're going to show you how to get it for free, legally, 100% legal. And this method is just super, super good. So, for example, I know these keywords are not super competitive, but you can see here. So, for example, let's say you're working with a plumber as a prospect, and you go and use this strategy and you rank a video on Google within 24 hours, and you rank him for a reliable plumber Rockland, okay? And let's say, for example, he's a plumber in Rockland, and you show him within 24 hours he's ranking on number 4th for that keyword. You know, that just proves your skill. So a lot of times clients ask for you, like, can you show me something, you know, that you know what you're doing. So if you get on the phone with them or they email you and they say, hey, can you prove to me, you know, what you're doing? You go out, you rank a video, within 24 hours, you get back to them and you say, here you go. You know, it's ranking on 4th within 24 hours. So if we work together, can you imagine what I can do? So it's just very, very powerful. So the total bonus value, if you act right now on this webinar and join Marketing Inc., you're going to get the website theme, the custom SEO plugin, and the YouTube strategy. That gives you a value of $4,027. Okay, so if you act right now, the complete value that you get for being a fast action taker is the training modules, the VIP support forums, the done for you, and the bonuses, a value of $7,782. Okay, that you're getting for $997 if you act right now. Now, the truth is, I'm nothing special. Okay, here's a photo of me, I think about 8 or 10 years ago. I'm not good at SEO. I'm not good at digital marketing. I'm nowhere near being the best. Okay, I don't have a college degree, don't have a university degree. In fact, when I was in high school, I received incredibly negative feedback about my English language ability. I'd never be able to get anywhere in a profession that involved writing or speaking or whatever. You know, it was just very negative. I spent literally years of trial and error trying to figure out what works, how to make money online. And what I'm sharing with you today in Marketing Inc., it just works, okay? It's super easy. And you can either go and do it the hard way and try and figure it out yourself, or you do what I just did and just plug it in, okay? Join Marketing Inc., follow the process, it works, it's awesome. And I'm nothing special, like I said, I'm just a normal guy. If I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. And Marketing Inc. is what's going to make it a reality for you. Now, so far, you've just heard my side of the story, so I just want to show you some of the feedback from our customers and the success that they've been doing, our members in Marketing Inc. So Alan says, hey, things are going great. Thanks to your help in Marketing Inc., I set up my own digital marketing SEO business, and it's going great. It's pulled in about $75,000 this year. I'm enjoying the benefit of it with a 7-week break in Florida. $75,000 for Alan, okay? And that's just a side income for him. David says, I just booked my first big client, paying me enough each month to cover about 2/3 of my living expenses. I honestly don't think I would have been able to do without what I learned in Marketing Inc. So one client pays for 2/3 of his living expenses. How awesome is that? Clyde was able to sign up. After he joined Marketing Inc., he was able to sign a $1,000 per month client within 9 days of signing up. Okay, he says, I've closed my first client for a monthly fee of over $1,000 and a setup fee of over $3,000. BRH, I've landed my first proper SEO client, £3,000 setup, £1,200 monthly. So that, again, that's a huge amount of money. That's £4,200. I don't know what that is in US dollars. About $5,000 initially for the first month, and then $1,500 a month. That's good money. BPC, again, I know I mentioned him a lot. He's a very successful student. He's doing very, very well. I think he's making over 7 figures a year right now. And you can see the total cash received from new business, $43,000 in 90 days. David says the job is $1,500 setup, $1,200 monthly for 6 months. Okay, so $1,200 for 6 months. Quick math, that's $7,200 plus $1,500. So that's like almost $9,000 from a single client. Okay. Frank is an awesome dude. He was able to close his first client before his 26th birthday, $750 from a single client. Ilya, he was 1 month down, 2 deals. The first deal, local SEO, $2,000 setup plus $1,500 per month. And deal number 2, $500 per month AdWords and retargeting, okay? And I can keep going. I can literally show you dozens and dozens and dozens of these. Marketing Inc. works, okay? Our students are getting crazy success. It's just really, really awesome. And you can access Marketing Inc. right now with 0 risk, okay? All the risk is on us. We're taking that. We're giving you a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked, okay? So if for any reason in the next 30 days you don't like the model, you feel it isn't for you, just send us an email. We'll give you your money back. So right now, for a limited period of time, you're in a small window of opportunity to get your hands on Marketing Inc. It's all the training you need in one place. But most importantly is Glenn and myself, so my business partner Glenn, he and I will take you by the hand, and we are personally going to guide you step by step. It doesn't matter whether you have experience with computers, online marketing, or whether you're completely new, okay? You can work at your own speed. So if you know what you're doing, you get access to everything, you want to go and do this all in the next 3 days, move through the course, you can do so. And if you want to take it slow and step by step and take your time with it, you can also do it. There is no rush, okay? And if right now you have no idea on how to get past the technical stuff, or it's a bit overwhelming, or knowing how to do SEO or digital marketing, after you invest in Marketing Inc., all those problems are gone. They evaporate. You can concentrate on starting a real and sustainable online business that is location independent, that will give you freedom, and more importantly, it will be in an industry that you care about. So if you enjoy fitness, or you enjoy finance, or you enjoy some sort of hobby or profession or whatever it is, you can focus your efforts on that, and then it becomes very enjoyable to run this current business. And that is the power of Marketing Inc. So right now, for action takers only, I have to stress this, because these bonuses that we're offering, the website theme, the mass page creator, and the YouTube strategy, they will disappear, okay? So this is for action takers. So if you're on this webinar right now, you're listening to me, and you join Marketing Inc., you're going to get all of this for a value of $7,782. Think about this for a second, okay? All of us have disposable income. I mean, every month we get our paycheck. Every month, some of that money goes towards, for example, movies, candies, magazines, Starbucks coffee, dinner, things like that. So I'm not asking you to go into debt for this at all. What I'm asking you to do is take some of that disposable income that you're going to spend on movies and dinners and fast food and that kind of stuff, and instead of blowing it on something temporary that you're going to lose without getting a return, invest it in yourself, okay? Make an investment in yourself, because that money that you put into yourself is ultimately going to turn into more money for you. Would you temporarily be willing to give up drinking, partying, fast food, entertainment, movies, things like that, to potentially have this, to be able to own a luxury car, to be able to have the freedom to spend as much time with your family and friends as you want, to be able to travel to exotic destinations, to have the freedom to not worry about bills or rent or mortgage payments, about sending your kids to college, even if you want to go out for a night and you don't have to worry about whether it's going to cost you $50 or $5,000. You want to do crazy, you go to Vegas and you blow $5,000. That's okay. You can pay for it. You have your online business. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to buy a new Ferrari in the next 2 months. Not at all. Okay, but Marketing Inc. could very well be the program that will change your life and enable you to get all the financial and the time freedom that you want in your life. And once again, not to show off, but to motivate you, to show you what's possible just this year, okay? And we're not very far into the year. We're only a couple months into the year. I was in London, I was in Amsterdam, I was in Las Vegas, I'm in Thailand, and I just travel a lot, okay? It's business class flights, all nice hotels, nice. I have all this freedom to be able to do this. And this is what I want to share with you too. And that's what's possible with running an agency, okay? And here's another screenshot from Alex. Alex is one of our members. And he really surprised me. He was kind of quiet in the forums. We didn't hear much about him. One day he reached out to me on Skype, and he said, he's closed a client for $32,000 a month, and a couple more. That's going to put us at $50,000 a month. I really appreciate your course. You guys are a gem. Okay, Alex, he's doing super, super well. It's just amazing. One client, $32,000 per month. And if you think that is a lot, $50,000 a month. Check this one out. See now. And the reason why this is so important, besides the fact that she's making a lot of money, is that she's a female student. So it just shows, it breaks the stereotype that only men can do this kind of tech stuff and online computer stuff. I mean, she says, because of this, a few months ago, I've been working on an incredible partnership that is starting in January. This partnership would mean I would be making 6 figures a month. So that's a minimum of $100,000 per month, thanks to, or I'd say partly thanks to what she's learned in Marketing Inc. And it's just really, really awesome. Okay, so if you want to join right now, then go to marketinginc.com/callzoo. And I just want to emphasize, okay, just as I've shown you in all these testimonials, just landing a single client is going to pay for the course multiple times over. It's really that simple. It's a no-brainer. Your first client will cover the cost of the course and then some, okay? So right now, what I want to do is I want to open the chat box for some Q&A. And I will answer any questions that you have about Marketing Inc. or about the course, about the presentation. So please put your your questions in the chat. I'm just going to open this up real quick.
Alrighty, Dirk, thank you so much for explaining your agency and what you do and some of the success stories that some of your other followers have had. It's pretty exciting stuff on that end of it. Cool. Going through some of the questions on here. I want to say congratulations on here to people that have got in already on this end of it. And that if you, obviously a lot of people getting in here. I'm just checking the PayPal payment on here. It says a lot of company names. So if you're in here, just type in I'm in the chat box so we can let you know I'm in. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Patel, good. In. All right. Thank you, Mike. You have made a good decision on the end of it. Dirk and his partner run an excellent forum and course, and they are practitioners of what they do, which is awesome on the end of it. I know a lot of people ask for payment plans. They do not offer payment plans at this time on this end of it. This is a common question. I'll answer it first. And then I'd like to get your take on it too, Dirk, only because I see this question come up a lot, not just this one time here. But and I can understand where these come from. People on this end of it wondering, aren't these niches being saturated? Aren't they saturated out there? And the fact of the matter is absolutely, positively not. In fact, if you ever wanted to even prove that to yourself without a shadow of a doubt, if you just went online and you just Googled any niche you want in the world, it doesn't matter what it is, plumber, insulation, foam insulation, mobile mechanic, whatever it is, just type in that niche plus a city name, and then instead of the Google search, have Google give you back the Google map results. And what you'll see immediately is it will show all of the listings on the map of, let's say, locksmiths in Phoenix, Arizona. It'll show them all dotted out on the map. But as you hover over them, you'll notice that at least 80% of those that are listed on Google Maps don't have a website, and they have not claimed their listing. Don't have a website in this day and age as a local business, do not have a local website, and they have not even claimed their Google listings. That's true in almost any niche out there. And you can literally see there's just, it's shocking this day and age, right? So yeah, as far as being saturated, absolutely not on that end of it. But it is a very valid questions on that end of it. I would also come back too and just say there are easily 30,000 plus local niches, and within each one of those niches there's all kinds of sub niches inside it. What do I mean by sub niches? Well, one of those 30,000 would be like plumbing. A sub niche would be emergency plumbing. Another type of plumbing on that end of it would be just a plumber that only specializes in hot water heaters or solar heating, and there's all kinds of sub niches out there. So it just keeps going down deeper and deeper and deeper. And also know that no matter where you are, you're always going to have at least 10 organic and at least 3 or more paid ads, and also Google Maps as well. So there's always competition around in any niche. They're right there on page 1. So you don't want to be scared of that. You don't want to get worried of it. On that, it's so much local, particularly with like Google AdWords and also SEO and the way that local businesses create their local sites. They're so easy to improve on. The vast majority of them have huge holes in them, and those are the ones that are on page 1. There's the majority are not on that. Dirk, what do you say to people who, and I get it, think that this kind of stuff is saturated.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I mean, I think I read somewhere just in the United States alone, there's close to 30 million small and medium-sized businesses, okay? And that's only in the USA. So 30 million potential customers there. And then you have all the other countries in the world. You have Australia, you have Singapore, the UK, Canada, even just focusing on that, there's so much potential. Like I showed you in the presentation, there's 150,000 active dentists in the USA, 150,000. So you can say it's saturated, and maybe the most common thing that people go for are like dentists, lawyers, and plumbers, probably those three. So you should probably avoid those unless you go very specific in sub-niches within those. But for the rest, there is so much potential, luxury charters, so luxury services, car rentals, yacht charters, helicopter charters, private jet charters. Those things are worth so much money, and there's a lot of potential in there. So, no, I'd say it's not saturated at all.
Yeah, there's so much out there. It's just it's insane on that end of it. A lot of people are asking if you can drop the promised PDF in the chat box.
Yeah, I've got it here on the next slide.
I see a couple more people are in here. Rick, congratulations. Thank you so much. You will not be disappointed on here at all. Dirk has a really great training program, great forums, and a lot of really good members in there that are out there crushing it.
I want to answer this one by Tina. She says, how available are you personally to answer questions as you go through the training? I honestly think that out of all the courses out there, you probably won't find anyone who's more personally involved. Like I said, it's only a once-off payment plan, and you get access to all the upgrades. So, for example, actually just today, I didn't even mention this in the webinar, but we just started a Slack group for all the members. So besides the forums, there's going to be direct interaction between all the members. You get access to that. For example, I'm going to Vegas next month, and just because I'm going to host a little dinner meetup thing for all our students that are there. So actually I'm limiting to 20 people because I'm paying for everything. But yeah, I get a lot of personal attention to everyone. And if you're really struggling, honestly, there's no reason why I wouldn't get on Skype with you for like 10 or 15 minutes, walk you through your problems or anything. So I'm really here to help you succeed.
Could you just explain for just a second on here what Slack is for those who don't know? I just discovered it, and it's like one of the best things in the world. But before you answer that, I just want to mention something really quickly. If you're a U.S. Resident and have a U.S. PayPal account, then we have two PayPal options. The one to the right, that is for PayPal credit. And PayPal is a great thing going on there, but you have to live in the U.S. and you have to have a U.S. PayPal account. I don't make up the rules. So I'm speaking to those of you out there. You can get this for no payments and no interest for 6 months. And then people often ask, well, what are the terms on that? The terms are set by Google afterwards, but I would be thinking instead, hey, I'm going to dive into this course, make it happen, and like Dirk said, easily with the first client, just pay this thing off and just not have to pay any interest after 6 months. So that option is there. So Slack, what is Slack for those who don't know?
Okay, so Slack, I also only discovered it recently, and it's really, really awesome. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like, it's like kind of like an online chat, but it's secure, okay? So you can create it for your own members or for your own team. So you can use it. It's very good if you have staff or team members or for your agency. Geez, I don't know. I don't think I can pull it up right now. But basically, you have a mobile app for it, and you have a website, and you're able to go into this chat. It's available all the time. You can get your members in there. You have different channels. So, for example, you'd have a channel where you only talk about SEO, and a channel where you only talk about marketing, and a channel where you talk about like creating partnerships. So it's all super logical and organized, and it also gives you notifications. So, for example, you can set to not get any notifications unless someone mentions your name directly, and then you get a little pop-up. That's just really one of the best things, and I think it's going to be massive in the near future. Everyone's
Yeah, me
discovering
too. It's really amazing. Anyways, this is little tips and stuff like that. Anyways, if you can, people are asking for that PDF. If you can drop that in there, while you're dropping that in there, you've got some fans out here who are saying, I can personally vouch for Dirk, or Diggy as his nickname is called, getting back to you promptly. I recently responded to one of his marketing emails with some questions, and he responded to me within 20 minutes. Frankly, I was shocked on that end of it. And we went back and forth on about 6 emails, and all my questions were answered. So, hey, thanks for that vote of confidence there.
Awesome.
And super on that end of it. Okay, so Dirk, this question for you and your agency: what payment methods do you use in place of PayPal? I think you mentioned earlier the PayPal fees got a bit too high for you. What are you using these days?
The PayPal fees got a bit high. To be honest, when I'm working with clients that are like five figures a month and stuff and higher, I just use bank wires. I mean, the fees,
they all do bank wires.
Yeah. So I think that's the best, and probably the second best would be getting your own merchant account if you're able to do that, where you're able to accept like credit cards and debit cards directly to your bank. But yeah, just bank wires, I guess.
Yeah, if you're just getting started out, PayPal's the easiest, fastest way to do it, and it'll take credit cards and that. But definitely, as you start growing, you want to be looking at other alternatives for sure. And the larger clients, like you said earlier, who are paying the larger fees, even the $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 per month, they usually just prefer a check or a wire. It's just easier that way.
Yeah, 100%.
End of it. So, okay, good. Alrighty, let's go through some of these. PDF is. Did you drop the PDF in the chat box? Send it out to everybody.
Yeah,
I think you did.
I dropped
see
it
right
in
there.
the chat box, and it's up on the screen also.
Okay, good. Alrighty, you're welcome. Simon asks, it's a supersize WhatsApp for groups. That's a great way to describe Hack. Definitely. We're new to Hack, but before we had Hack, we'd use WhatsApp on our team for like emergencies. It's like, hey, server's down or something like that, and we'd use that, and everyone would be connected to it. It's pretty popular, particularly throughout Asia and outside of the U.S. on here. Dirk, I have a question for you. You outsource and you use Upwork as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, as a main source for finding outsourcers. You provide a list of pre-vetted outsourcers that you and other members have used successfully for various services within the members area. Did you state that?
Yeah, exactly. So in the members area, we share with you our favorite outsourcing companies and providers. So for example, we've got an awesome website design guy who does really professional, good stuff. I've worked with him for almost 2 years now, and he's really cool. Like for SEO, we share exactly where we're outsourcing, which people we're using, website design, even like Facebook ads and stuff, where we outsource that too. So that's all inside the course.
Nice. That's hugely valuable on that end of it. As I've stated before in many calls, one of the most important things, and people ask me all the time, what's one thing you would have done if you could start all over? One thing I would have done at starting is I would have outsourced immediately. Like even when I couldn't afford it, I would have outsourced on that end of it. And that's just my mentality looking back. I think it's really important to have that mindset that this is my viewpoint anyways. My perspective is that your job is not to be doing SEO. It's not to be helping design websites. Your job is to, in the beginning, is to create sales, create jobs, and make a difference in other people's lives out there. And I don't mean that in like a woo-woo hallmarky card kind of way, but I mean you can literally change the lives of a offline business by providing service to them that's going to provide them more income. And a lot of these businesses, you don't know how tight they run. A lot of them run on a very, very tight budget. And they might be thinking about having to let somebody go or not, and just by hiring your services and you're bringing in more leads and more business, and then they're able to help their economy and keep their people and even hire more people. So that should be part of your main job, and then your main job should be creating more jobs through the work that you do, and you should be overlooking your business and always be thinking about how you can grow and innovate your business rather than being stuck inside of it. And you should have that thought process from the very, very beginning on that. But I mean, Dirk mentioned earlier about the supplement company that he hired out. I mean, are you telling me that $100,000 a month didn't change their lives? Yeah, that's life-changing on that end of it. So I think it's really important to be able to hire out on that end of it. Dirk, if you're starting all over again today, what would you do differently?
I agree with you. I think all of us that started businesses from scratch and then, built them up into things. Like I started out doing everything myself. I started out building links and doing SEO and even trying to design websites and stuff, And if I would have known about this stuff, or if someone would have taught me something or told me, I would have outsourced everything, absolutely. Like your main focus should be running your business and generating more leads and hiring skilled people. That's important, hiring skilled people. So you don't just want to hire someone because they're cheap. You want to hire someone, even if they cost a bit more, but they can do a good job and make your life easier, they're going to pay for themselves 10 times over, easily. So if I were to start over, yes, I would hire good people, outsource everything, and make sure I could scale it as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. On that end of it, when you're traveling and stuff, how do you manage the majority of your clients? Because like your clients in the U.S., for example, and so when you're managing them with the different time zones and stuff, I mean, you can be 11 hours difference depending on where you are, and that can be kind of confusing or tiresome for you. How do you manage that?
Actually, I found that like almost all of my clients never need personal calls or meetings or anything of the sort. I mean, when we agree, like maybe initially we need to get on a quick call on Skype or something in the beginning to discuss the terms and get the contract done. But even sometimes that doesn't need to be happening. And once we agree on the terms, and I'm sending them, their every 2 weeks their report or every month their report, and they're seeing the results, they're happy. They're running their own business. They don't need to get on a call with me every week or whatever. And typically, I found the bigger the business is and the more they pay, the less they want to get on a call with you. And they just want to make sure the results are there. If you're staying on track, you're delivering as you promise, then a lot of the time, it'll be some emails back and forth, but you can answer that anytime. And if it's really necessary, you can get on a Skype call or something. But most of my clients, I don't even speak with them once every 3 months. So that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, if you're doing the right job and everyone's happy, and you're setting the expectations up from the beginning. But hey, Dirk, can you really quickly type in your support contact information and put it in the chat box for all? Rick is in. Appreciate it, Rick. And he's just having some problems with his username and password. So, that's huge. Just basically with our pay-per-call service, we don't offer phone service. All of our services, and that's up front. All of our services purely through our Zendesk on that end of it, and our customers know that. And it's just when we set it up front like that, that's the way it is. Because if somebody needs to be handheld, they have to have the cost of phone calls and stuff like that. That's just not the kind of business model we run, and that's not the kind of people we want to attract. I think, I see this with people new to the industry, is that the first person, it's usually a friend or something, or a friend of a friend, that's kind of their first easy lead, and they want to just cater to them, and they may not be the best customer for you, even if it's your first client starting out. I would highly recommend you wait until you get the right client that fits your system, the systems you've put in place, is going to make your life a lot easier on this end of it. I don't know if this is correct or not in here. I didn't hear this on this one, but just asking if they heard correctly in your course, do you present the best niches to go after? Did you provide that in there?
Yeah, inside Marketing Inc. So we've got a list of over 100 different industries that you can go after that all fit the $1,000 average customer value that you can go after. Absolutely.
Good. Okay. Yeah, that's a great way to go. Because then you don't have to go out searching as much and start with a blank slate, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, what's your viewpoint on that? Do you think there's like a perfect niche categories out there? How do you feel about when someone's selecting a niche?
Yeah, I know how it can be difficult in the beginning because when I was starting out also, I don't know like where to start. But actually it's like you can make money with almost everything. It doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you kind of fit that criteria of $1,000 as a customer value. So, okay, don't go for hairdressers and cheap people, you know. Nothing wrong with hairdressers, but they're not going to be able to pay you the money that you want to get paid. Okay, so as long as you're choosing an industry where the money is there, where the business owner can afford to pay you a couple $1,000s per month, you're going to be able to make money. And I really do suggest just going for something that you have a bit of an interest in, or you know that you feel a bit passionate about. Don't go into an industry where you really don't care about it, or you don't even enjoy them or like it just for the money. Okay, you can do that. And you know, if you're like a disciplined business person, you're going to be able to make money in any industry. But if you don't enjoy it, it's going to show in your work, and most likely you're not going to be able to make as much as you if you were excited by the industry and you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, I would just add to that. I totally agree with that. And I want to congratulate some of the people that come in, but I've just got your PayPal emails if you want to just write in the chat box I'm in. See a few more people get in. Congratulations. And by the way, all the bonuses and everything that Dirk is offering here ends on the call, and then there'll probably be maybe another hour or 45 minutes left on the timer, and then that page closes. So it's just a one-time deal on this end of it. I would just add to it that, you know, my take on it is there are no perfect niches, so I wouldn't look for them. There's definitely larger criteria to look for. Maybe it's that $1,000 mark on that. And then once you've got the basic criteria out of the way, and it sounds like you've already done all that work for everybody, then it's just a matter of, if maybe you've got an affinity to a particular niche, you maybe got some background in it. That always helps out because you understand it. Whatever niche you go into, it always helps to be or become somewhat of an expert in that niche, and that doesn't take very much work to do, so that you can better understand your clients, their clients' needs, and every single niche, no matter what it is. A lot of people think the niches I'm in are like some kind of incredible niches. They're not. They have pros and cons just like every other niche does out there. It's just a matter of weighing that stuff out. The most important thing is really just to commit 110%, put the work forward, and understand that in any business, no matter what kind of business you're in, you're going to have some challenges, and it's just how well you meet those challenges on that. And there, you know, I'll be frank, there's just some people out there that are just, you know, they think. Let me give an analogy. My son, who's 14, a lot of you know because I share this all the time because I'm a proud dad, but he plays professional. 14 years old, he plays professional, Premier, you know, Division I or whatever they call it, the top of the leagues in Spain. That's huge. It takes a lot of work to do that. He's been working since he's 5 years old. He trains 5 days a week, sometimes twice a day, 5 days a week. Many times he doesn't get home until after 10 p.m. He's got to get back up at 7:30 in the morning and start all over. It's not real glamorous. And so he may train all week and may train and may be in 2 or 3 games before, you know, they may have like something he could feel really good about. um, uh, on that, and not everybody wants to do that. So, and there are some people that just enjoy playing the game of soccer as kind of recreational. That's fine. To make that switch to being the professionals track is completely different. Likewise, with owning your own business. Owning your own business doesn't necessarily take more time, but it does certainly take a sense of kind of emotional maturity, because the buck stops with you. You can't ask you can't pass the buck on to a manager or an owner of the company, because the buck stops with you. And little things are going to come up, and maybe your merchant account will get shut down, and all of a sudden you can't collect your payments from your clients. So what are you going to do? You got to become a problem solver on that. And if you're relaxed and you're good at that kind of stuff, then you're probably meant to be an entrepreneur. But sometimes people just don't like dealing with that stuff. And quite frankly, then you're probably better off just being an employee. It's up to you. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just maybe not as glamorous as some people think sometimes. What are your thoughts on that, Dirk? Kind of sidetracking here, but
I agree. Just real quick before I answer, there's a question from Robert. He's saying, Chris, can you please explain how to set up the payment with the 6 months no payment? You know that better than I do.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I anticipated that Robert would ask that. In fact, I knew before the call Robert would ask that, and that's exactly why below the bio link I made a video just for you, my friend. Did you watch the video? Let me know in the chat box if you watched the video, because I walked you through it. If you have problems with that after you watch the video, it's just like a 45-second video. Just put it in the chat box here, and then if we need to take it over to support, you can just contact support@Qzx900.com. I got agents there that can help you out with it. And I just want to make sure, Robert, you're in the U.S. and you have a U.S.-based PayPal account. That's the only way that will work. So, I didn't see that.
Thanks for answering that. It's actually pretty awesome that PayPal gives credit. Look, I think people ask me all the time, like some people say, money isn't everything, and like why do you want to work so hard, and why do you want so much money, and all that stuff. And the truth is, while that's true in some way, like money can't buy you happiness, you do need a certain amount of it to be able to have the freedom to do what you want to do. Okay, and it doesn't really matter. Everyone's ambitions are different. Okay, so whether you want to make $5,000 or $10,000 per month, and spend time with your family, and maybe you want to surf every day, or go to the gym, or train martial arts, you can do that, no problem. You don't need to have millions of dollars or be making hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you make enough to pay for yourself and live comfortably, that's awesome. Okay, go for that. That's perfect. If you want to do more, and you want to go and build a massive agency or a massive online business and make millions of dollars, you can do that too. It doesn't matter. But I really do think that you should be able to have the freedom to make those choices, and if you don't have a certain amount of money, and for me personally, I think if you have $10,000 a month after taxes, you can live however you want to live with your family, like in pretty much any country in the world. So if you have that, anything after that, what you want to do with it, you want to live your life in your way, you can do that. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I grew up in a household, only child, raised by my mother, who was either going to college and working a second job, or after college working 2 jobs. And she was, instilled in me stuff like a penny saved is a penny earned, which is total baloney on that end of it. A penny saved is just a penny. There's nothing more to it. But that mindset can run really deep and change the way you think. And I remember my mother on Sundays, it was to get the Sunday paper, because in the Sunday paper there was a huge section in the middle that was all the coupons, and she'd clip all the coupons. And I remember going to the store, and we would always take the longest in the line, because my mom would have a whole stack of coupons on that end of it. And that's the kind of household that I lived up in. And at the time, it was like I always wanted to buy like one pair of designer jeans, and my mom was like, "No, it's a waste of money. We're not doing it. We got to save money." And that kind of mentality, if you're in that mentality, or you've got a mentality that, hey, I just want to make $60,000 a year or 80, hey, think big and understand your relationship with money and the way that you may view it, because it probably shapes you in your decisions a lot more than you think they do. Even if you think you have a healthy relationship with money and about it, most people are really anti-money. For example, in fact, right now I'm sitting in the Beta House. It's a co-working space. Just because my internet at home is so slow, I could never do a webinar on it. It's not strong enough. But we had our last event here here. But this place it's a big co-working space. It's 6 floors, hundreds and hundreds of people working here that all work for themselves, by the way, and a lot of international people from Europe on that. And they have a Facebook group. And I remember I was posting up on a Facebook group some things about work. I can't remember. I reposted an article. I thought it was really good about mindset and money and owning your own business. And I thought, man, this is the perfect audience. And I did not. And I was new to Europe, and I did not. I got slashed. I mean, it became a hate thread in the co-working space, and it was just like, oh, you care about money and blah blah blah. And I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. And I was like, no, you're the root of it's the root of all evil, always going after money and profit. I'm thinking, whoa, these people here will never make more than 20,000-30,000 euros per year, but they're happy doing that. But they're so stuck on that end of it, and you don't need to be. You can let go of that stuff and understand that money is a tool, money is a freedom. It's so nice not to be able to walk into a store or a restaurant and you just never have to worry about what the price is going to be or the bill is. That's like the last thing in your entire world you're going to think about. Or you don't have to go shopping because things are on sale. You have the freedom to, take your family where you want to go. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. I share them online. And, we went on a huge kind of European ski trip with my family. I don't have to worry about anything. When I was a kid, non-existent. Never, ever, ever once. I didn't go skiing for the first time till I was like 35 years old. I never skied before in my life because that's just like, what? $150 or 170 euros or whatever for a day pass. That's crazy, And then you got to buy the skis and get up there. I mean, and it's just, so yeah, money and mindset's a huge thing on that end of it. What are you thinking there, Dirk? You got some more questions in there you're saying we should answer, or should we start wrapping this up?
I think we could just ask if there's any questions about Marketing Inc. that you'd like us to answer about this presentation or about joining the program. Please do put it in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. We've already been over 2 hours. Not that I mind personally, but
Yeah. So if you're sitting on the fence, now is the time to hop off it. Go either way. We'll all remain friends. It doesn't matter. Just make a decision. That's important. And know that this on here, this is going to end. Whatever the timer is left on the page. I think it's like about 45 minutes left. So when that goes, the page just automatically just disappears.
Okay.
And all the bonuses. And then, what are they? You want to recap what they're getting again, and then we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah. So just two quick questions I want to answer. So what are the costs after sign up? So this is a once-off payment of $997. We have no upsells, no monthly recurring fees, no yearly recurring fees. You'll get access to everything. I'll recap it in a second. And that's it. Okay. And in terms of what you need to invest to be able to get clients, if you have a couple $100 to invest in this, it will make your life a bit easier, some tools, some outsourcing, etc. But the methods that we teach, it's totally possible to get clients without investing any further money. We've got enough students who were able to do that. So it's really up to you, and the investment is minimal to get started after you sign up. Okay, and Sean says, how scalable is this in the US to international? I don't really know what that means, but I'm going to answer the question that I get a lot is, can you do this if you're not based in the US or if you're, like live in another country? And that's why at the beginning of this webinar, I showed you the testimonial from Veal. Veal is from Finland. He's 20-something years old. I met him about a year ago in Bangkok, and he was making about 2,000 or 3,000 euros a month after joining our program. And now it's about a year later, and he just said, like literally this month or last month, I think, he made about 17,000 euros from his agency. His first language is Finnish, he's doing it inside Finland in his native language. So this can literally work. You saw the testimonial also from Sinan, female student doing $100,000 per month. So there's literally no reason why this cannot work for you, whatever your age, nationality, where you live, etc. Okay, so quick to recap when you join. Let me see if I can go back to the slides.
And as you get those slides set up in here, Sean just reiterated his question. He says, if you have a specific niche doing well in the U.S., isn't it advisable to take it international? I'll answer that from my viewpoint, and then Dirk, I'd like to get yours as well. I would say yes, and we've done that, and I've given some examples of other companies that have done that. MrHandyman.com has done that, and they do that in Canada, UK, obviously the US, and Australia. So you'll see how they've branched out and grown out. They are currently have just branched out into English speaking, which you don't have to do. And then we had a guest on, and the replays in the members area, one of the Qzx900 members who is very successful in SEO ranking within the European Union. And SEO is a lot easier. That doesn't necessarily mean that's where you should go, but the SEO and the algorithm, it's kind of, as he described it, was 4 to 5 years behind. So it was kind of like looking into the future if you're used to ranking in the U.S. And then maybe you go international on that end of it.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that SEO aspect in different search engines, especially like third world countries. If you look at South American countries, if you look at Brazil is a huge market, tens of millions of people, and it's so easy to rank. Thailand, for example, there's 50 million people in Thailand, there's 55 million, super easy to rank. And other industries also, Indonesia, South Africa, like the most competitive search engines are the main countries, so the US and then the UK and Australia, but even the UK and Australia are significantly easier than the US. So if you do target these other kind of geographic locations, you can do very well, even if you outsource it and translate it. So I agree with that 100%.
Okay, you're going to recap?
Yeah, so to recap, right now, if you join, okay, so you're going to get all the training inside Marketing Inc. You're going to get unlimited access to that. There's nothing held back. It's not drip-fed, anything of the sort, okay? So all the training inside Marketing Inc. to teach you how to get set up. You're going to get access to our forums. So that's unlimited, only for members. You get access to all the previous content that's inside the forums. You can use the search function. You can find all that. On top of that, which is not listed, which we discussed, you get access to the Slack group, which is going to be very active and awesome just for connecting with other members, asking questions. I'll pretty much be on there every day anyway. So if you want to ask me questions, it's like having me personally there to help you out. You're going to get access to our Done For You section, which is the email templates, the contracts, the Done For You, the outsourcers, and our proven and tested tools. And then by taking action right now, and as Chris said, we have a timer on the page. I think it's about 40 minutes left on it right now, which will close this offer. So if you act in the next 40 minutes before that timer hits 0 and before the page gets closed off, you're going to get access to our bonuses also. And the bonuses, so that's the website theme, the agency website theme that you can use for your City plus SEO or your Profession plus SEO, your professional theme. You're going to get that. You're going to get our custom software that's going to be able to mass page create. So you're going to be able to build websites with thousands of pages, with a few clicks of the button. Literally, we show you how to do that. And we're going to give you access to our YouTube strategy that allows you literally to rank YouTube videos in less than 24 hours, sometimes like an hour or two on the first page, and sometimes even in the top result. And that's what you get access to if you join right now, marketinginc.com/callzoo.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I just want to thank, are there any other questions in the chat box there last minute before I close this up? I've got that. Looks good. Okay. So I want to take out a moment here just to thank our guest for taking time out of his busy schedule. It is early morning where you are right now, Dirk, in Thailand, I believe. And for everyone who came out for the call, I really appreciate it here. And just some closing thoughts on here that I've noticed out there is that one of the biggest mistakes that a small business can make, and you may think of yourself as a small business, is that they think like a small business. My name is Chris Winters. Thank you so much for showing up on a call. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, everyone, for showing up.